Hi, for this project, I'm going to show you how to do a slab sculpture. It's actually a relief sculpture, and we're going to do a mandala. Mandala is well, in Sanskrit it means wheel. Mandalas are radiating designs, oftentimes starting with a circle in the center and then radiating out symmetrically. Students research traditional mandalas and contemporary mandalas. They start actually with looking at Tibetan Buddhist sand mandalas, and they move on to their own research of contemporary mandalas that they themselves like. Students do 2 sketches in order to make sure that they have a backup plan if they need to, or they can combine the 2 ideas. And the first thing they actually do is just have a clay board, a rolling pin, variety of tools, and 2 pieces of clay that they then wedge. Wedging gets all the air bubbles out so that the relief sculpture doesn't explode in the kiln or crack in the kiln. Wedging is just kneading and pushing and getting all the air bubbles out. A cup of water is also nice to have because you don't want your hands to get too dirty, and it's good to smooth the clay. Once you wedge it, you start to roll it into a slab. And a slab is basically just a flat piece of clay. In fact, a lot of sculptures are made starting with a slab. Once you roll out a nice slab, you can use any kind of template to help you to trace the clay. For this one, I just used a palette and I cut a nice circle, but you can use squares. You could even do a floral pattern. Okay. Once you have your base shape, okay, you can start to press in maybe a circle. Okay. You can carve away shapes using a hollowing tool. Okay. One of my favorite things to do, though, is to actually attach pieces so that they look 3-dimensional. And the technique you use for that, if you didn't want to just carve designs in, is the score, slip, squish, smooth technique, which I'll show you now. Basically, whatever your shape might be that you're adding, and for me, I picked a few sort of leaf patterns. Okay, I traced them. I traced the one I liked, and then I had about 3 or 4, and I'm going to attach those to my piece. Okay, so in order to attach these, the first thing we have to do is score. All right, and scoring is basically cross-hatching or putting a mark in your piece of clay like this, and then you also have to score where you're attaching it. So I just put a little water to let me know where I need to put the marks. Press it down and the water will show up and will let you know where you need to then put your score marks. Okay? And scoring just allows it to bond better. After I score, I use slip, and slip is basically wet clay. It's kind of like a glue. Okay? And I put a little bit on the back of my piece, right? And then I squish. I don't squish too much, I just try to get the extra air out of between those 2 pieces. Okay? And then the most important part is to smooth it. To smooth is to get rid of that separation. You don't want that crack there between your 2 pieces. You want to make this one piece. So you basically press down from one piece into the other, and you smooth it down, and you flip it around and do the other side as well. You can change the shape a little if maybe it looks a little bit messy, which mine did a little bit there. And then you just press it down, smooth it. So that is the score, slip, squish, smooth method. You can also pinch it to create different shape, add a little water, and no one will even know how you attach that. All right, the other technique is embossing. which is when you can actually, instead, if I don't want to make it a piece that I attach, I can draw my shape in, and then with a flat tool again, okay, I'm going to press down and away, and this creates a relief sculpture. Okay, again, dip your finger in water, press it away, and then it actually does stick out. It is a relief sculpture without having to attach anything at all. Okay, don't forget to put 2 holes so that you can hang it from the wall, or if you just want it as a display or maybe a piece on a shelf, you don't have to put 2 holes in order to hang it. These are a couple pieces that have been dried. They are dry, they're ready to fire. They have not been fired yet. And they were very simple, referencing traditional mandalas, but then also kind of simplifying the geometric design, putting a little bit of an organic pattern in there. The students keep their mandalas in a bag. This project usually takes 3 days to 4 days. And once they're in a Ziploc bag, they can stay wet for quite a long time. This is a piece that I've started, and if you can see, it was one slab, a second slab cut into the shape of a lotus, and that's the beginning of my mandala design. I'll then have a radiating pattern around the side. If you are an art teacher and you'd like to have the assignment sheet and the assessment based on standards, please visit my blog, jacobsm.ism-online.org. And have a really fun time with clay.